Hey, what's up everyone? Danny and Alex. In this tutorial, let's look at the Kesa position and some submissions you can do from there. So check it out. All right, from the Kesa position, first, before you start attacking, it's super important to understand how to control. All right, so some basics, very basic pointers right now to begin is, of course, now because I don't have an underhook as such, now I'm at risk of the opponent scooting out and taking the back, right? So I'll have to try my best with the positioning of my legs and my hips to control his head so that way he can't go behind me. All right, so one of the tricks I like to do from here is, of course, sit beside him and not on top of him as such. Of course, if I go on top like this, I get rolled over in this direction. All right, so one rule I always mention all the time in martial arts, especially in Jiu-Jitsu, is where the head goes, the body will tend to follow. All right, so that means simply that if I start to shift my head in this direction, it makes it a little bit easier for Alex to try to shift my weight in that direction as well, right? So if I keep my head right here above his, centered, now it's more difficult for him to flip me in this direction. That's number one. Number two is the positioning of my legs. If I'm going to be in Kesa, I don't want to be spread out like this or like this. Okay, I want to have a good base, right? So one leg is going to be bent, this back leg right here. It's there to serve a purpose because this is the one that's going to keep traction, to follow him as well, to also prevent him if he tries to scoot in, because one of his escape is going to be to tuck his elbow in once again here. So I can add some pressure here just like this. And then last but not least, this leg right here, all right? I don't want to keep it just like this. I want to bring it tight against his shoulder. And sometimes the underhook where the head is, I might even grab my own pant like this, either on the grip of the pants or just cup all my fingers right behind my lap as such, okay? This will add a lot of tension, a lot of pressure, a lot of weight onto his chest, which will make it easier for me to control and harder for him to breathe, okay? So now we have the basics of controlling right here. Now you always have access to this arm. So one submission I like to do from here is just grab his wrist and then trap this right underneath my leg as such, okay? Now watch, once I release this, I'll just bring this leg right up and then press with this one here. And that'll create the tension and the lever to attack the elbow, all right? This is an arm lock position. So once again, from here, we have the nice control. I'll trap the wrist, trap it underneath here, raise this knee up, okay? And then press gently downwards to cause the submission. Now the second one, sometimes when we're going for this one, you're going for the wrist here, but whoa, he's strong, he's fighting, he knows you're trying to bring this in this direction. Now he keeps the wrist here. So look, I'll just trap it here, and look, sometimes I'll just raise this elbow and shift, okay? As I shift this elbow now, his hand's gonna wanna go with that tension, all right, because it's trapped here behind. So look, I'll easily bring it towards my leg and now trap it with this leg, okay? And now look, just bring the second one in. And from here, gently, for practice, lift the neck and create tension on the shoulder, okay? So once again, from this shoulder lock here, the first one was the elbow. This second one is gonna be attacking the rotator cuff, that shoulder joint, okay? So look, when you bring this here, he's fighting. You can trap it with this hand right here. Now you raise the elbow, which will guide his wrist towards your leg, and look, easily trap it here. And now you bring the weight of the second leg in. As I raise his neck, it'll cause the tension in the shoulder joint. Now the second way to finish this is if he can't, like let's say for example, this head is very heavy, he's strong, and you can't raise his head, now you're gonna shift your weight and bring this downwards, see? Like this, but you don't need much because the angle of the shoulder, because of your lap, is so much higher than if you did a regular Americana from the side control using just the mat, for example. Now you have a lever point underneath that raises the shoulder off the mat, okay? So be very gentle with this one when you practice, okay? So this, from the Kesa, is a great submission attack. All right, another lock we can do as well. Once you're controlling here, sometimes the opponent's arm is gonna try to push you, you know, his arm is up like this, he's trying to push you back. So what you're gonna do is use your free hand. Instead of trying this, the first one was here, second one was here, now third one is gonna be here. Look, I'm gonna drive his shoulder in the opposite direction. So all I do is just place my hand behind the elbow, and look, that puts the shoulder accessible to this hand. Now what I like to do is just cup with my head. So here I can easily trap his arm, and now I'm able to use my palms together, shift them to the mat, come belly down, and adjust, okay? Once I'm here, look, I just press down. I can drop both knees. From here on the mat, I press and squeeze. So once again, from the Kesa, you lost control of this arm. He's trying to push you. A lot of times this is a reaction you might see. So if you encounter this, look, push the arm across, trap it with your head. Now look, palm to palm, go down. Now you'll need to adjust sometimes the arm. So what you do is just use your head, dig it deep, and push his arm against his neck. All right? One of the things you don't want to do on an arm triangle is have his head against the forearm like this. All right? You don't want his arm just across his face. You want the arm lower onto his neck. So sometimes when you shift from here, look, I'm just going to use my head, dig it deep, and guide it right onto his neck instead. Now once I'm here, look, I kept the palm to palm. I drop onto my knees. Now another variation, you can also go here. Look, bicep, head, and here sprawl. Now one last quick one. This is more of a fun sub. This is the cradle. Watch. Sometimes when you're here in the Kesa, they try to scoop their legs out and bring their legs across your head to rock you back. All right? But in order to do so, they have to also raise the second leg, right? To have that hip flexibility to reach over your head. So what you're going to do now is use this arm you're controlling. As he comes up, just trap the bottom leg right here. Okay? Now watch this. I'm going to bring both palms inside my laps. All right? Now here, look, I just bring my legs together and cause the squeeze for the cradle lock. All right? So of course, I call this fun submission because it's not something you want to do too hard, just playing with your friends, or if you're rolling with your training partner, catch them by surprise. But don't do this and try to forcefully create this type of submission, right? You don't want to injure your partner. It's more of a fun submission. So once again, look, just for the purpose of knowledge, they try to pass their legs here. Look, you block, you catch, and look, bring your hands inside your knees, and now squeeze like a butterfly guard, see? Boom. All right, guys, so there you have it. Some fun submissions as well as some real ones from the Kesa position. Hope you guys enjoyed this content. Leave us a thumbs up and subscribe if you are new to our channel. We will see you
in the next video.
Take care.